to rate benefits. But starting right up at the top, 10-point veteran preference and federal hiring. This applied to me, and see, all I did was click that link and boom, now I'm at OPM's websites for federal employees. And all you have to do is click back. You can click any link you want here, and it'll go to where the source of information is, not just two dudes on YouTube yapping, right? Although YouTube's not a bad source of information, food for thought. So that 10-point veteran preference, Jason, I'll go ahead and start this off because I am a federal employee. I had VA disability rating, submitted my federal resume, went through USA Jobs, and then the agency site for me was the Department of the Army. Each agency site's going to be a little different. They ask you, what's your race, male, female, all that stuff, and then it gets down to disabilities. Answer that as you will, but then there's going to be a veteran preference specifically for those federal jobs. And I think that's a benefit that a lot of people really don't understand how it works. All you do is click something. You have to upload. I want to say it's an SF50. There's so many standard forms. I have no idea what it is. You're going to need your DD-214 at a minimum. But that's how you take advantage of that veteran's preference. Now, I know Jason has yet another channel. I believe it's called Veterans Preference. And so I feel like I have to give this one to you. So take it away.
That's funny. Yeah. So it's actually the SF15. So it kind of sounds like 50, but it is,
I was
it's
close.
15.
I was close.
It's very close. Very close. You were 35 off. So that's a lot, actually, now that I think about it. So 15, SF15. Don't miss that form when you're applying. You need to put it all together. Here's the thing. With federal jobs, there is something called the Veterans Recruitment Act as well, which is also kind of in conjunction with the veteran hiring preference, all that stuff. So you want to cite the different hiring authorities that you would be approved for with your federal job. Obviously, if Clay can do it, you guys can too. So
that's a fact. Yes.
I was trying to get you when you were drinking just to see what would happen, but yeah. So with your federal jobs, that comes into play. Now, they're really focused on federal stuff here. This does also, in some cases, will loop in maybe your other government agencies. Could be a state agency, could be a county agency, could be a city agency. There's a bunch of different hiring authorities and preference points that are out there for you to take a look at. The big thing, I'm just going to throw this out there so we can move on because we'll be stuck. I mean, there's a 1,000 bullet points here.
Yeah.
This is a big deal. And if you are looking for a job in the realm of a government sector, absolutely utilize your veterans preference and make sure that you fill out everything appropriately. It doesn't mean shortchange yourself in other aspects. Work your resume detailed toward the specific job. The one thing that I'll say that I have seen a lot of in my life is people will do one resume and they'll change 2 words in that resume. Maybe it's, I can't wait to work for, insert the company's name or organization name, and that's all they change. Don't do that. Take the time to really dial your resume into the jobs that you're actually looking for. There's a whole, that's a class, a day-long class
it is.
that we could give. So with that, let's move to the next one here, Clay. The no-cost health insurance for prescription drugs for service-connected disabilities. So here it says if income limits are met. Do you want to chime in any thoughts you might have on that parentheses there for us?
When it comes to income limits in 0%, this is, in my opinion, the most confusing thing about VA healthcare for under 50%, because everyone understands, okay, if you're service connected for whatever condition, let's say hypertension, right? That medication, whatever treatment involved with that is free. Now, when it comes to comma, right? And then it goes into the income limits on various disabilities. And so when it comes to, I'm sorry, Jason, if you are below 50%, the truth is it sucks. And there's really no good way to put that. And it's very weird because when that rating is compensable, that's whenever that service-connected disability under 40% or under is free. Whenever it is solely 0%, your overall rating is 0%. That's when income limits become a factor. I don't know what that income limit is, Jason, if you want to take that from there.
So, this is the funny thing. When it comes to 0%, which is like nobody wants to be at a 0%. And again, this is an overall 0%. Let's not confuse this with you have a 0% rating, but you have 3 other ratings that are 30, 20, and 50, right? Giving you a whatever you're at that point, 60% or something. It's your overall rating is 0%. And in this case, the non-compensable, you're looking at, you only have one rating that the VA ever service connected you for, and it's at 0%. And here, I mean, look, it's on the VA's website, no cost healthcare and prescription drugs for service connected disabilities, which usually we always hear if it's a service connected disability, you're 100% taken care of. Like you don't even need to worry about it because it's service connected. So I think that we need to do a little research on what they're actually talking about here with the income limits are met. And look, that's the great thing about this stuff is, look, we're real. We're not going to, smoke and mirror it and just say it and then move on and not have a clear understanding of what they actually mean. Because in my opinion, as yours, Clay, you should be taken care of regardless of your income limit because it's a service-connected disability. And if that's not the case, well, then maybe we as a veteran community need to stand up for our brothers and sisters that have a 0% compensable rating and say, hey, look, that's dumb. They should be taken care of because the likelihood is that it's going to get worse over time anyway. So all you're doing is you're pushing somebody to never be treated. Now, the only rationale that I could see is that at a 0%, if you were rated at 0% for really any condition, it's typically saying that you have 0 adverse effects from that condition, right? Like I'm so not affected by it. It's like it doesn't even exist. However, you're service connected, meaning that you can always file for an increase later once it gets more severe. Anyway, let's move on from that one. Let's just knock out these last 3 in the 0% non-compensable. And here's the thing for folks to understand. Again, this would be one rating, a veteran with only one rating, and that one rating happens to be 0. Okay. Travel allowance for scheduled appointments for VA care at a VA medical facility or VA authorized healthcare facility if they approved it. Commissary and exchange privileges. That is huge. This changed probably, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago, 3 years ago, where they opened it up. I guess it was probably about 4 years ago. It was right toward the end of Trump. That opened up to all service-connected veterans. It used to be you were only allowed to step foot on a base again if you were 100% permanent and total. And then you could go get your DOD ID card, and that's why that was such a big deal. But then they opened it up to allow anybody who's service connected to get onto bases to do whatever, go to the commissary, go to the PX, get gas, whatever it is, utilize the MWR stuff. And that is a real benefit, I think. And not just, Clay, not just if you could save a little bit of scratch here or there, but also for some of us, it just feels good to be able to go back onto a base and just kind of be around some familiarity, right? I can't even say the word, but you get what I'm saying. So with that, that's there are some real benefits at just having a 10% rating. Let's bounce over to the compensable. Yep, go.
Real quick, the travel allowance for VA healthcare, like paying for your gas, for me going into DC, it would be a big deal. I'm gonna shame the VA here. I think it was an OIG report. Don't quote. I read so many OIG reports, I just cannot remember. It came out about 1/3 of all travel allowance claims have not been processed whatsoever. That was recent, as of like 6 months ago. So if that's you, be sure to make a call. But yes, you can be reimbursed for your authorized healthcare travel costs.